Welcome back, basketball fans. Welcome back. Man, Team Kenya were on a roll. They beat Morocco 13-10. This game was decided by 3 points, and Morocco just didn't stand a chance. The first time they played the women's team, our women's team, the Kenya women's team, they got blown out brutally, and the game ended when we had double digits. And this one was no different, as there was just a huge mismatch, especially when it came to the way we play, the way Kenya plays basketball like that. And the teams that don't pose like an immediate threat, like a team like Morocco, of course they are just going to fall down. But in this video, we'll just take a deep dive into this game, just check it out frame by frame. But before we do that, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification post just to never miss any new videos I'm coming out with. And also, please smash that like button. It helps me out a ton in this YouTube algorithm. Without further ado, let's just get into it. So, Team Kenya versus Morocco. The women's team has just been sensational. The death lineup is on Medina, Marianne, and Lisa. They have been sensational. And also, Ashley was on the bench. So, she was a flamethrower. And she was a flamethrower all through the games. And this one, she will come off the bench, and the death lineup of Mary Lisa, Marianne, and Medina will suit up in this one. So, man, first possession of the game, it's on, and Kenya, Marianne hits that first attempt from downtown, didn't go through. Number 45 just trying to size off Lisa, but man, I mean, it is what it is. Kenya just looked so big in there. That's one thing that I saw that was glaring. I just saw our team, like the Kenya team, just look big, and Morocco just looked small. So I'm pretty sure, like, the first thing that went through my mind was like crashing the boards, rebounding. It'll be much more difficult looking at these players the way they are built, and looking at how our front court is with Marianne and Medina. It'll be pretty difficult for Morocco to be able to like get those boards quickly and swiftly, and the mismatches are there, and whatever they try to do, especially to guard a lady like Medina or Marianne, it will be actually quite difficult. And you can see that rebound. Medina grabbed it, Marianne going up for the three, she hit it, and it's just good. I don't know why they put it as 1 point. Was she beyond the arc? She was, and they put it as 1 point. Oh, it was put as 2 point. We scored. We started off the scoring. So man, I mean, it's actually quite it's actually quite the game we have in store. Medina, she gives it to Lisa, and it's a foul. So Morocco fouled the first. They fouled the first time. Marianne is not. She's just in her zone. She's been able to like hit a 2 pointer. Excuse me, in 3x it's a 2 pointer, and she's not used to like taking those outside shots. But when you see her taking those outside shots, you just know like it's game over, because she's majority of the time predominantly inside, and you see Mary Lisa with a nice spin move, and she just scores it. She just made it look so easy. Turns around, goes one-legged, and just knocks it down. Something that it is just expected. See Mary Lisa going off for three again, and she missed it, but Morocco just grabbed the ball. Lisa, she's just following up closely, and number 45, she hit that mid-ranger, and she scores it, because she got that first point, first points of the game. And the funny thing, I just saw like number 45 get into a shot, and one thing that was very concerning is our defense. Like, look at Marianne, and look at how Lisa was running. You might think that Lisa was going to guard, but that was a lot of confusion there. That switch was very confusing, because you could see that screen was set, and she should have gone like past and just try to guard, because at that point she just forced a switch, and it was 2-on-1, but you could see both players, our players Lisa and Marianne, were eyeing the ball, but you could see Lisa was just running around. I feel like this threw off Marianne's defense, and this confusion allowed number 45 for Morocco to be able to hit that mid-range shot, which had a friendly roll and went in. Which there's just so much. There was some miscommunication on defense, and this really, I can say, even despite the win, really hampered our productivity, and it was very concerning because I've seen this thing happen time and time again, and it can actually be very confusing. Ashley, she's checked in, and now we have two guys. We've got Lisa and Ashley and Medina in there just commanding the post. That's an altered shot by Medina. Ashley, she looks for hitting. She looks to hitting the three, and in the rebounds, Medina somewhat just looks lazy. She just looks lazy on her feet. I don't want to say lazy, but she's just slow on her feet, and it's required, especially when she's rebounding the basketball. And I've kind of just seen like overall, there's not like very good uh, attention to switching, because I've seen a couple of instances where it's supposed to be a switch, then that miscommunication on the players just becomes difficult. You see this black screen. This is courtesy of FIBA. Like the FIBA 3x3 stream was just crazy. But anyway, it is what it is. We just have to. It is what it is. We just have to struggle with what we have right now. But hopefully, the good thing is we were able to grab the whole clip to be able to make sure to check it out. Medina, she scores it, and this has been the go-to move for Medina. Like it's either Ashley to Medina or Lisa to Medina. It's like the same thing. She just grabs it, puts it in, and just piling on the points right now. At that point we were tied, and looking at the way we were playing, we had some bit of question marks, especially going into our defense. Our offense, okay, it's just there about, but our defense is something that really was scary, especially not scary in a good way, but scary in a bad way in terms of like how we're communicating. And look at this play. It's supposed to be an ISO play. Marianne is there. She's guarding pretty well. You could see guarding the closeout was good, but the rotate by the movement by Medina, especially, she was just walking, and you can see the other Moroccan player on the far right side, where the ball was being driven to, was rushing to go to the baseline. I didn't even go to the baseline, go to the elbow. Then you're seeing a situation where Medina was just like lazily just going there. So that's one thing that I didn't like at all, especially not having quickness on your feet. I know you have played a lot of games, but you just have to move. You have to make sure you move on your feet, because right now there's no luxury of like moving slowly. So I've seen a couple of instances where some points have been given up and some possessions have been given up just because of like just being slow on. So just the players just being slow on their feet. I know the bump and grind of the game, but for you to win games, you have to be at least quick on your feet and be able to like close out on defense, or close out on like those plays. Be active on defense, both with your feet and your hands. And that's one thing that has been lacking a lot, especially coming from Medina. She's not been moving that much, despite like her offense, despite her like shooting the ball pretty well and finishing inside. She has equally given up like majority of the points, and it's actually very concerning. But anyway, right now it's 5:50 left, tied at 5-5, and at this point you might think that Kenya was just gonna come in and pull away the same way that we pulled away when we played Morocco. But when you look at like the scores, and you look at the overall like flow of the game, both teams were just struggling, especially like just trying to find their spots and shoot and at least score. Because I saw a situation where it's not like we couldn't score, it's just that we were not like comfortable scoring, and that's one thing that was really concerning. And like even the possessions that we were getting, we were not like able to like be comfortable in them and to be able to like utilize them well. So yeah, I mean, it was a funny game to watch. Despite the win, which I can take any day, that win was very important. It was very crucial to take us to the finals. And Morocco, this is a team that is coming off that blowout and they're just trying to get that win. But looking at the way they were moving, there was not much structure from the Moroccan side. You can see Kenya, at least as much as we looked like we were not that comfortable going in there, we knew how to like go about scoring, and you could see how that shot was manufactured coming from that missed layup. Lisa, she took the ball outside, passed it to Medina. Medina gives it back, and Medina gets it back in there. Then Marianne just goes in and just finishes that layup, which was pretty good, especially looking. It was pretty good, but they didn't count it. Funny enough, they didn't even count that. She walked. It was a car. It was a travel. They called the travel on that. It was a very good like way to create the shot, but Happy Feet really disrupted everything. You see number 28 trying to drive, but she couldn't. Lisa trying to find a way to like pass to Medina, she couldn't. She had to settle for the shot. And Marianne just getting that defense and that block on Mary Lisa, which my god, there were a couple of like difficult plays. I feel like the way Morocco just got blown out, they went and just tried to re-strategize on how to beat Kenya. Because I've seen Kenya when they played Morocco, they were very like easygoing, especially on offense. They were able to like dominate. But in this one, I could see Morocco just changed up a bit, and they knew what kind of stops to set up. And overall, I can just say it was kind of like slow paced. It's like they were just taking their time, possession per possession, just to find a way to like score. But one thing that I saw was Morocco like that play. They were just trying to get in. Just trying to get in. You see number 23 out of that pick and roll, and just the ball just went in easily. And the shot clock violation. That shot didn't count, despite even the basket, going through the hoop. Didn't count at all. So, yeah. Team Kenya have the ball. Ashley goes for the three. She scores it. She has been a flamethrower. Even in the game they played against Morocco was great. And the funny thing is, after this made basket, you could see Morocco. The number 28 went outside, and you could see number 45 just cutting beautifully. And the thing is, where was our defense? You could see both players have been stretched out, and number 45 was actually being active off the ball. Ashley and Medina, you could see their faces there looking at the basketball, and they're not paying attention to either the movement of the other player. Of course, she was being picked up by Mary Lisa, but number 45, Ashley she was supposed to be guarding her, but she was not able to like look at her and look at her off-ball movement, which resulted in that beautiful pass where they didn't even see that coming. So number 45 just had some open daylight. Medina wasn't able to like put a hand on it, but she kind of just stood there just with her hands up, kind of threw off number 45 to make that shot. Ashley goes up again for the three. She misses it. Rebound attempt, no good from Mary Lisa's side. So it was something that I saw that happens a lot. We have a tendency to Team Kenya, the women, even the men have a tendency to ball watch, and they're not paying attention to the other players, especially if they're moving off the ball, which is something that hampers some of our productivity. And we pay big time, especially when the other team scores. But you could see that connection from Ashley to Medina. That was spectacular. The ball was dished outside, mismatch, she goes in. So that has been like our go-to move to create some instant offense. Not even like our jumpers or even our threes. Our threes are just like an afterthought. But that move is the one that we depend on per possession Mary Lisa, she goes in, she tries to shoot it. It rims out, but Medina is there to clean that up. And Mary Lisa, you can see she tried that layup in there, but Medina, she banks it off the glass and she scores. And the turnover, it's a turnover from Morocco, and Kenya still have possession. So you could see like Kenya slowly just scoring, and that pass, this pass is specifically has been like our go-to move for instant offense. When you want instant offense, that's where you go to. So yeah, if it's coming from Ashley, if it's coming from Mary Lisa, that's the type of pass that is accepted. And when it clicks, it creates like some quick points that can throw off a defense, especially when there's a mismatch down low, which I've seen a couple of times. There's a couple of mismatches I've seen, even from number 28 who is guarding Medina. She's not able to like withstand like that bumping right in there. You can see Medina, she goes in again and she scores on her. So it's been like that move that we go to, especially when you just want to score. And number 45, she tries the layup, she kicks it out, outside shot, no good, rims, hits the front iron, and another short attempt, this time from number 45, and number 28 tries to go in, and she gets fouled hard. So it's just been a bump and grind in the game, and she's fouled, and she will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. And Kenya has only fouled 2 times. There's this time Kenya were playing. The game was so difficult that they fouled like 4 times in in a span of 4 minutes. So after that missed free throw, see number 28 trying to fight again, and a foul has been called. But the ball is gonna start. I thought even the ball was gonna start there, but apparently it's just another free throw. Now this time it's only one free throw. Ashley, she opens up, looks for the three. She misses. That three won't go. And the rebound taken by Morocco. Morocco, nice fake. That was a miss, but Morocco were able to recover it. Number 28 was able to recover it from number 23's miss. And this was actually pretty awesome. Medina, she just got beat from the rebounds battle, and this was very concerning, especially when it came to like her mobility. I'm not questioning her play, but sometimes I just question like their like work ethic in there. Do they really want to like score the basketball? Sometimes I just keep asking myself that question. But anyway, you can see Morocco just trying to cut the lead that Kenya has created. Kenya, we are up by 4 points. You can see number 45 is just causing problems, and she's able to like move easily. She's able to move easily inside. And one thing that I don't understand is why isn't like Mary Lisa picking her up and not moving with her. That's one thing that I saw, and that switching that happens. So that Moroccan player is down, and just trying to figure out like if they can be able to set up, but hopefully everything is okay. But see Morocco, that short guard from Morocco just running away, just running with the ball, and I don't know, for some reason like we just look so wide open. Medina just got scored on easily. She was beaten by that footwork. I don't know if she doesn't want to play defense, but she's able to like score there. That at some point I just wondered, is she just being put there just to score? To see Morocco just violently trying to get in there. It's 146 in the game, and Kenya has 5 fouls. You see the coach is in there, and one thing that I really ask myself is, why is it that we can't defend well and just defend and be able to like defend efficiently and also score efficiently? As much as it's 10 minutes in the game, and you find a situation like number 23 just going in there, just finding an easy look, and she's able to score, cutting the lead to 3 from a 4-point lead to a 3-point lead. Melissa just gets blocked. We just looked predictable, and that's a nice spin move which missed. And you can see Medina, this is what I'm talking about. You see number 28, she went in with a nice spin move, she missed it. You can see Medina tapped the ball instead of holding it, and instead of even rushing to get it, she was just casually jogging. It's like you don't want to play. Number 45 lines up for the 3, and you can see Medina was not even quick on her feet. She's just slow in there, and this really hampered our productivity. She looked to score, but we just look so predictable in there. Even with that move, the other players I've seen, like, they're still in the stage, they're still in the like, they're still watching the game. Even the other nations, Tunisia, Egypt, and they're just monitoring what we are doing, and they're just seeing our tendencies. So this was very concerning, and we just look predictable. Again, this play has been tried out again, and we still couldn't get it to go. You can see Ashley, that screen, tries to find Medina. Medina can't contain the ball, and that's very solid defense from number 28. And number 45, she has the ball. She's just looking to like ISO, and she takes the shot and rims out. It just hits the front iron. Ashley, she's going in there, and it's a foul call with 37 seconds left in the game. So honestly, if you ask me, kind of just looked like slow in there. Excuse me, but the stream kind of like got denied the last like 30 seconds. Man, I don't know, FIBA stream was just crazy. And Kenya finished this game 13, Morocco 10. There were so many takeaways I saw in this game, and it was actually pretty funny to see how, despite even winning the game, there was a couple of things that we weren't like executing pretty well, especially defense. Our offense is above average, but our defense is questionable, especially when it comes to switching, especially when it comes to like overall like awareness to being in there. So that's one thing that I saw that was very, very concerning, and it raises eyebrows a lot. We lack like the ability to close out, and even our front court players somewhat don't have like the good know-how to be able to like defend, and somewhat we look like we're struggling in that game. And in this game, this is a game in hand, and we could be able to like dominate, but somewhat I just saw a situation where we were not able to like find a way to have like good defensive rhythm. I know there's an offensive rhythm in there, we have like our go-to moves, but on defense, still, even despite the win, we didn't get exposed because the players weren't like playing aggressively, like the way Egypt play aggressively, the way Tunisia plays aggressively. They were not like that, because when you match up against Egypt or Tunisia, they really exposed us big time. And of course, we're going to look at that more in this video. So if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about the Kenya versus Morocco game, what you think about the women's team in 3x3. So I'm out. Peace.